Well, good evening, fastball fans. Hope you enjoyed the opening ceremonies here on the ISC network, brought to you by Softball Premier. Blair Sedford, Joe Todd, as we dive into some more game action coming up. The top-ranked New York Gremlins, they'll be taking on the Northwest Braves. And Joe Todd, the New York Gremlins, we've been using the Formula One analogy, are Max Verstappen and Red Bull. They're just ahead of the field.
Yes, they're fully loaded. We saw them participate in quite a few tournaments over the summer. They're ready to roll, and the New York NW Braves are the opposition tonight.
Well, we'll set the batting order for the Northwest Braves. They're the visitors, and we'll talk more about the Gremlins as the plate meetings wrap up. Leading off for the Northwest Braves, it's Nary Delced Jr. He'll be followed by Justin Rencarel. Scott Hartley bats third. Juan Morales in the cleanup spot, and then Brandon Tatro, Shane Arndt, Derek Gomez, Jason Reinhart, and Adam Gonzalez in the 9 spot for the Northwest Braves. John Ferrari on the mound and is not hitting. Defensively for the New York Gremlins, Matthew Waugh out in left field, Ben Anokas in center, Brian Avery over in right field. Around the horn, Jerome Remicke, Cole Evans, Ladislaw Mauer-Zook, and Blake Hunter at first base. Bit of a surprise starter. Blake Hunter, the designated player, is Zenon Winters not in the lineup. Joe Todd, Eric Ochoa. We'll talk more about that. Andrew Kirkpatrick gets the start for the New York Gremlins, and he'll be pitching to Nick Mullins, the defense there for the New York Gremlins. Joe, are you shocked that Eric Ochoa, who hit over 700 in the tournament last year, one of, if the best power hitters in the game, not in the lineup?
Yes, I am kind of shocked, but the New York Gremlins have a lot of depth in their lineup, and they can choose and pick anywhere. So maybe Ochoa's not feeling well. We're not really sure of the whole situation, but the depth of this New York Gremlins lineup is awesome.
Yeah, it really is. They are the class of the field, absolutely. It's going to take something special to beat them. We'll see what the Northwest Braves have got here facing 6'7" Andrew Kirkpatrick. Joe, we heard some great stories from Andrew on the Dust Up podcast on our drive down here, telling some humorous stories about his time in the game, especially the early years, what it took to make the adjustments going from Australia, moving up to Canada to play on the North American tournament circuit, first with the Owen Sound Crunch, the Calgary Diamonds, and a couple of teams before landing with the New York Gremlins, and how much life experience that he's been able to draw from softball.
So he had a great trip on that whole 18 years or 19 years that we talked about there.
Fouled out of play by Nary Delced.
Some great experiences that you talked about and that he shared on the podcast.
Yeah, it was really worth the listen. Dust Up with Steve Mullally, Jason Hill, sponsors on the broadcast, and we talked them up partly because of that, but partly because you just get to hear these stories, the inside scoop from the players that you really just don't get by seeing them on the field. It's really something to listen to. A lot of the great podcasts, of course, Outside the Chute and Two's Talk and Beyond the Dugout as well. Nary Delced Jr. down on strikes. That brings up Justin Rencarel. Not wasting any time. Andrew Kirkpatrick is right after it here for the New York Gremlins. Joe, Northwest Braves were 5-3 winners over the Pegasus Redmen in yesterday's action. They're a new team to the ISC World Tournament. Slap attempt, that's just foul by Rencarel. He's got Sanders on the back of his jersey, so nickname perhaps. But I went and talked with Shane Arndt just before broadcast time, just to get caught up on a couple of names, and Justin was one of them.
both of the first two batters for the Northwest Braves have both kind of doing the advanced walking through the batter's box. Delsa did it, and so Rencarel.
Well, and both of us are never sold on all the moving parts. You want to be set and still in the batter's box.
Well, every time you move, you're moving your shoulders.
Called strike 3, inside corner. Down goes Justin Rencarel. And that'll bring up catcher Scott Hartley. Scott's been on the tournament circuit a lot this year. He's played some time with the Ohio Bombers. And making his way over here to the Braves.
Scott's a BC product, I believe.
He is indeed. The Braves operate out of Pendleton, Oregon. The chopper on the infield. Cole Evans will come across. Sidearm throw. Good strong one over to Blake Hunter at first. Cole Evans amongst the best in ISC at shortstop, and we got a bunch of them. 1, 2, 3 go the Northwest Braves. In the top of the first, Gremlins come to the plate.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father. Could have walked in here 5-4 years ago. It seemed just about the same thing. The process of making this food takes about 6 weeks. I always feel about 12 It's an old complex. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
Joe Todd, as we head to the bottom of the first inning with the New York Gremlins coming to the plate. Look at the famous Denmark-Wisconsin water tower. We'll set the batting order for the Gremlins, leading off as he has done for about the past 10 years for the Gremlins in their batting order. Luciano, it is Matthew Waugh. He'll be followed by Jerome Remeke. Then Anoka will bat third for the Gremlins. Zenon Winters in the cleanup spot, designated player. Cole Evans bats fifth. Brian Avery sixth. Blake Hunter in the 7 spot. We'll talk about Blake Hunter's astounding numbers. Ladislav Malarczuk hits 8. Nick Mullins, as he often is, in the 9 spot. Andrew Kirkpatrick pitching and not batting in the lineup. Defensively for the Northwest Braves, left to right across the outfield, Brandon Tatro, Juan Morales, and Justin Rencoral. And then on the infield around the horn, Jason Reinhart, Neri Delsa Jr., Derek Gomez, Adam Gonzalez, and it's John Ferrari pitching for Scott Hartley. John Ferrari, watch this. A lot of hang time out there, Joe, as he comes off the board. This was in a photo that made the rounds yesterday from day one, and a lot of commentary around, wow, how much does this guy push and how far does he jump off the board? Young Guatemalan pitcher, John Ferrari. And I'm noticing all the names, Joe, on the back of the jerseys of the Braves are of major league players.
Oh, very good.
So Matthew Waugh lifts this one way out over to the parking lot. Jerks it foul. Joe, is there anything that Matthew Waugh hasn't done in the game? Although I'm seeing him trying to grow a mustache here. Maybe that's one thing he hasn't done. Is there anything he hasn't done?
No, he's a complete package. Great leadoff batter, great defensive player, covers a lot of ground out in the left field. Got good wheels on the bases.
Matthew, one of the most personable guys in the game. We said a quick hello this morning, and always great to reunite with Matthew. Got his start in the ISC 2009 with the Donnacona Blue Sox in ISC 2. 2011 a member of the Toronto Gators, and ever since 2012 and onwards has been with the New York Gremlins. And as Joe, you said, right at the top of the order throughout that time. Bats leadoff for Team Canada. It's funny, I used to think of Matthew as one of the young guys, but I think he's achieved veteran status these days.
Yes. He's one of us, Blair.
I don't know if I would grant him that senior status, but certainly veteran status. Lifted out to left and coming across and can't make the catch. That is a fair ball, and then also some obstruction, I guess, on the part of the infielder that Matthew tripped over on his way around the base. Watch as he comes around the corner here. Valiant effort out there by the left fielder, Brandon Tatro, but just can't flag it, and then Matthew Waugh collided with the first baseman. So he gets second no matter what. But a leadoff runner at second base, Jerome Remeke to the plate. And rest assured, we checked with Jerome earlier today, as we did with Ladislaw Malherzuk on pronunciations, and they're quite fine with the way that we've been doing it, and we're going to keep doing with Remeke and Malherzuk in particular. Confirmed with the players. On the move to third, throw down, and they got him at third base. A generous hop off the fence for Scott Hartley. The throw's on the money, and Waugh, DOA at third base. It didn't even get to the fence, just squirted out of the glove, and bang, bang at third, but right on with the tag is Jason Reinhardt.
Well, that's got to be a positive for the Northwest Braves. It's excellent to get that base runner out the base paths.
Yeah, they'll be quite happy with erasing Matthew Waugh. And Remeke skies this one foul back behind us. Joe, there was a graphic that Luciano put together earlier in the week of the big power hitters in the ISC. Right at the top of the list, Jerome Remeke. 3 Gremlins actually at the top of the list. We'll see if we can bring that one up for you. Up and over the head from Ferrari. But Jerome Remeke, Blake Hunter, and Eric Ochoa. There's the list. Ochoa 2, Hunter 3. We saw Ezekiel, Boland, and Shales. Blaine Milheim, we haven't seen the Niagara Stompers here on the broadcast, but they won 13-0 earlier. Quentin Bruce had a double and a triple earlier today. And Manuel Godoy hit the ball hard last night. That one is hit hard, but just foul down the right side. Thanks to Luciano Lafrano, who put that graphic together and pulled it up so quickly. Just some of the wonderful work that Luciano takes care of for us here on the ISC network, and did the Gremlins network throughout the summer. Just some fabulous stuff, bringing you the ISC tournament circuit all summer long. Luciano Lafrano, Carol Dureste out on our action camera. Great, great work. And this one, well hit deep right field. Forget about it. Jerome Remeke launches one, and it's 1-0 New York Gremlins.
Wow, did that ball get up there and get out quickly?
Oh, it just disappeared into the trees beyond the bleachers in right center field. Is there a better power hitter in the game than Jerome Remeke? I don't think so.
A lot of strength coming from those arms and upper shoulders. Real strong guy.
Just got all of it, just mashed it. So I think that puts him 1 ahead on home runs. He and Ben Anoka and I think Blake Hunter were tied with home runs. And Ben Anoka, you don't always think of Benny for his power, but boy, he can still hit the ball. High average and short hair this year, Joe Todd. Last year had the flowing locks. This year has got the trim. Talked to Benny this morning at the Hall of Fame breakfast. One of these days we'll be doing that for Benny, yes. I am quite sure.
Oh, yes.
Ferrari misses downstairs. John Ferrari, young Guatemalan pitcher. And Joe, the international influence in the ISC just continues to expand. We were just out on the field for the opening ceremonies. We had all the players from all the teams out on the field. And as they always do, all the players from the different countries and provinces from Canada got together for, let's call it team photos. All the Argentina players, all the Venezuelans, the Argentines, the Kiwis. This one is laced by Anoka. That's going to get to the gap out in right center. And he'll trot up to second base, Vananoka, with a double to open his account here at the 2023 ISC World Tournament. But I just want to finish the thought. There's so many different regions and countries represented now, and Guatemala is emerging. For a couple of years, it was strictly Jorge Segura, but now there's a bunch of Guatemalan players here.
Yes, the exposure to that game, they started with the under-19 program and under-23, and now they're moving up into the men's program.
Zenon Winters to the dish, the veteran Zenon Winters. Called a strike. Zenon, one of 3 players left, Joe Todd. Jason Hill, Zenon, and Rob Schweier. I think the only 3 remaining Farm Tavern players still on the circuit. Big cut from the Aussie.
Second baseman playing fairly deep for Northwest Braves.
And this one is out to center. Juan Morales will make the catch, and a strong throw back into the shortstop, Neri Delsa Jr. Delsa Jr., Juan Diego, Fabian Vizcaíno, and Ferrari, all from Guatemala. Cole Evans, captain of the New Zealand Black Sox, their national team, to the plate. Upstairs from Gian Ferrari. One ball, one strike. I'd say home run power, Joe, but that's kind of redundant in the Gremlins lineup. Everybody has home run power in the Gremlins lineup. It skips away from Hartley behind the dish. Benanoka will trot up to third the easy way.
Very professional hitters. They understand what they have to do at the plate. If there's a runner in scoring position, just put the ball in play. If the base is open, they'll look for the walk. They'll look for a power hit. They have a game plan. Very
Swings
important.
underneath. Yeah, sorry, you're absolutely right. There's no just going up there and hacking away with the Gremlins. Every bat has a purpose. Evans comes from a softball family. His brother Reese is on the Niagara Stompers. I believe there's a Brock Evans somewhere in the game too, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
No relation to Joel Evans, who had the big World Series winning hit back in 2017, although they've both been on the New Zealand Black Sox. Cole, of course, made his Black Sox debut in 2015 as a 16-year-old. Laced out to left field. Anoka will score. Evans will make a big turn and will move up to second base with another double for the Gremlins. So double home run, double flyout, double go the Gremlins so far this game.
33, Brian Avery.
Brian Avery to the dish, Canadian national team member. Mr. Versatility, can play corner infield, corner outfield, can catch. Avery really impressed me, Joe, with his outfield prowess the last couple of years. That catch that was on the sizzle reel that Luciano put together going over the fence, he made some really spectacular grabs playing right field for Canada down in Auckland at the World Cup.
He's worked hard at that position, and it's paid off.
I mean, and it's not often really that you get a catcher that plays multiple positions, but Avery, not just multiple positions, but multiple positions on the infield, multiple positions on the outfield, really does do it all. '18 MVP. Foul right back to the screen. Ferrari looks in, and this one is chopped foul, and Blake Hunter waves at it. Avery, Hunter, and Waugh, the three Canadians in the starting lineup for the Gremlins. All of them national team members or national team members gone by. That one just missed. Ferrari thought he was on his way off the field there.
Yeah.
Gremlins out in front, 2-0. Remeke, big home run. Beninoka come around to score on the double by Cole Evans. This has been the pattern, Joe, for the Gremlins a lot this year. Score early, score often, and run and hide. Avery calls time at the plate. And when you've got the pitching of the stature of Andrew Kirkpatrick and Jack Besgrove, Pablo Migliavacca, Sammy Villavazo, you can afford to do that.
Yes.
Put up 6 and then just play kitty bar the door.
Just an awesome lineup. 1 through 17, I believe. Maybe more than that. Let me count them. 10, 14, another 4, 18.
Well, you can't count
farm. Okay. Oh, come on. He makes nice pants from the guy that was.
Well, yeah. We'll tell that story. And Avery launches one to center field. Turn and watch that one go over the John Miller Field scoreboard sign. Cole Evans comes home and score. Avery rounds third, gets the handshake from Coach Greg Leather, steps on the plate and make it 4-0 for the New York Gremlins. Not done yet. Blake Hunter to the plate.
Number 12, Blake Hunter.
In Blake Hunter's 13 hits so far this year, so you see the ball clearing the scoreboard by half a mile. Blake, and I'm not sure even how to calculate slugging because I'm just not that smart. But Blake Hunter only has 2 singles in his hits this year. Every other hit is multiple bases, extra bases.
Pound for pound, probably one of the better players. How's that one? Not a big boy.
Not a big guy, but I mean, he's built solidly. There's no doubt about that. And when he connects, it goes and goes and goes.
Swings hard.
Upstairs to Blake Hunter. An addition to the Gremlins this year, coming over from the Grand Prairie Pirates, spent a number of years with the JB squad down in California. But Luciano, you have been with the Gremlins all summer long. Is anybody hitting the ball harder than Blake Hunter? Nope, that's it, eh? Unbelievable. He's the top, yeah. And a quick visit here from the skipper from the Northwest Braves team.
Well, I'm sure Ferrari might be just a little, because he thought he had Avery struck out on that close call.
There is a lost college ring. You're the first
Josh McKay has just come out to have a chat with his infield on the Northwest Braves. And you're right, Joe, I think this is just a bit of a pep talk, to a little confidence builder for John Ferrari. I think probably a little upset that he didn't get that call. But listen, you're not going to get that call against the Gremlins. And it's a borderline call. They've earned the respect of the umpires. And when it's a 50-50 like that, you can't count on that against the big teams. And it's not just the Gremlins. Let me correct that statement. It's not just the Gremlins. When you're a newcomer in the game, you've got to earn the right to get that call, it seems, as Blake Hunter works a walk. So Ladislav Malor-Zook, the 8th batter in the order. And Joe, again, I mean, it's 10 years now that the Argentina U19 team came to the 2012 ISC World Championship, World Tournament. More than 10 years from 2012. But I remember Ladislav Malor-Zook on that team as a 18-year-old, and here we are 10, 11, 12 years later, and still right at the top of the game.
Well, a great defensive player, has great range at second base. You watch him whenever the ball gets into play, he can move laterally left to right a good 10 to 12 feet. So important at second base.
And this one well hit to left center, back to the fence, and that one is gone. Malor-Zook contributes with a 2-run home run. That ball got up into the jet stream, Joe, and it just carried and carried and carried. Let's watch this one here. He just gets under it. Got the hands apart just a little in the upswing. And takes that out, hits the tree beyond the fence.
Going the opposite way, going to his left side.
So 6-0 for the Gremlins, and this inning continues for New York. And Joe, they were a strike away from getting out of this too.
Yeah. Really has to be a bit of a downer, but you got to pick yourself up, get back out there.
Joe, while we got a second, I want to say hi to Bob and Chris Nidick. Bob Nidick's parents, grandparents to Greg Streeper Nidick. And that's some warming up going on in the Northwest Braves bullpen. Been viewers all year on the ISC Network and the Gremlins Network. And to the Nidicks, congratulations on Bob Jr. going into the ISC Hall of Fame today. Called strike on the inside corner. Warming up, that's Kyle Fry taking some warm-up tosses for the Northwest Braves. And I was thrown by Jones on the back of his jersey. I've got to remember that's not their name. That's the Major League player that they want to be emulating. Chipper Jones, I'm guessing, would be number 10 for the Braves. I'm not well versed on the Atlanta Braves numbers, but I saw Tom Glavine out there on somebody's jersey as well, as Nick Mullins works a walk. And we're back to the top of the shop for Matthew Waugh, his second trip. And you know Matthew will be upset about getting picked off at third base there on that attempted steal on the quasi-pass ball. And look for Matthew to try to do something to atone right here, Joe.
Very deep in the box again. Ferrari's thrown 48 pitches so far.
That's a tough first inning. And this one well hit deep right center field and gone. Yeah, I think Matthew wanted to do something.
Yeah.
Wow, Matthew Waugh, first pitch, and launches that one over the trees and behind the bleachers and make it 8-0 for the New York Gremlins. And John Ferrari is shell-shocked out there.
Yes. Very tough on him, though. Obviously, his first ISC World Tournament, and to come in and get laced like this, it's got to be hurt your ego just a little bit.
Oh, he got the win yesterday against the Pegasus Redmen, but this is just an entirely different class here playing the New York Gremlins, and it is a rude awakening, if you will. Joe, a lot of teams still here from opening ceremonies. A bunch of them had to race off because with the weather forecast that we've got tomorrow, if you haven't heard, we have pulled forward 7 games from Monday to be played this evening still. We're going to have games, 3 of them going on here at the 6 o'clock cycle, another 3 at 8 o'clock, another 3 at 10 o'clock. And believe it or not, we're going to play a winner's bracket game at midnight tonight upstairs from Ferrari. We will not be able to bring you the 10 o'clock or the 12 o'clock games. We've done 4 today. We've got to get Luciano and Carol some rest. Can't ask people to be doing 6-7 games in a row. That's just above and beyond. We do appreciate you being with us here all day on Sunday, opening Sunday, day 2, the ISC World Tournament. You can catch all the action on Game Changer through the ISC website at iscfastpitch.com. Follow the games live through Game Changer. Go to the homepage, scroll down a little bit past the photo carousel, and you'll see the links to the Game Changer live trackers. Encourage you to stay up to date with those. Remeke, a big rip at that pitch. You know, he's not satisfied with seeing Matthew Waugh hit one just as far as he did.
Yeah.
He wants to hit one another 10 feet further.
They have a little contest.
Ferrari shakes 1, shakes 2, and just can't get settled on location. And a high hopper on the infield. Ferrari over to Adam Gonzalez at first. They get out of the inning, but the Gremlins push across 8, 4 bits for the Gremlins. How many hits? 7 hits, 8 runs, 3 home runs, 4 home runs. This team can hit.
Yes, they can.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to...
For the best bear tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
Center fielder Juan Morales for the Northwest Braves. First pitch swinging. He hits this one out to center field. Beninoka back to the fence, but that's as far as he needs to go as he reels that one in off the bat of Juan Morales. Gave it a ride, Joe. Let's take a look.
Number 17, Brandon Tetro.
Got a lot of power there.
Beninoka, step in front of the fence. Brandon Tetro up to the dish. And he just makes a wave at that curveball from Andrew Kirkpatrick. He works that pitch a lot to the righties on the outside corner. It was interesting in the podcast that he talked about, because he lives with Nick Mullins down in Tampa during the week when they're not playing, and they work on spots and